Hi, so I just saw Man of Steel after trying to see it for a couple of days, and it's been selling out all weekend. And today's Tuesday, and around where I live, we have Movie Tuesday. So I finally got out to go see it. My intention was to see just the normal movie, but the normal movie was sold out. So the only ones that was tickets available tonight was the 3D, which was for some reason the same price as the regular movie. So I guess people didn't realize that. So which is a good thing because I think people don't want to see 3D movies anymore because it's never really done right most of the times. But this 3D was okay. So now my first impression of the movie was I mean I saw all the YouTube videos and the spoilers. I knew exactly what to expect. So because of that, because a lot of my friends that saw it either really liked it or really hated it, I kind of went in with really low expectations, like super low. Like I thought it was gonna be, crap, and didn't expect anything better than that. But I just wanted to see basically the action and see how the story was done. Which is for some reason, most people complain about movies lacking action, but for some reason, a lot of the people that did not like this movie didn't like the story, which is like I think it's a first in a comic book action movie where a lot of the fans are complaining the story was bad, not so much the action or the way it was filmed or other things that superficial, but this is the story, which is the deepest part of a movie, was bad. Now I liked it. I admit I liked it a lot. um it is not a perfect movie. No, it's not a perfect movie. Would I have written a better movie, or anyone have written a better movie? I think definitely so. But the first thing that pissed me off is the Batman origins story. I think every Batman movie, literally every Batman movie I've seen, always hints to how he became Batman, and I think they need to stop that. And I know the a lot of Marvel movies, they kind of stopped doing that with Iron Man and the Avengers. I'm sorry, but I'm tired of seeing a Batman movie or a Spider-Man movie where it starts with his parents dying. Like it's so easy to write that in there and build up the character by going back to the origins, but we already knew how he became Batman. We don't care. We just want to see the movie start with Batman being Batman. He's doing Batman things. I don't need to see Batman become Batman for the for the millionth time in a movie. So the first like 30 minutes is just Batman. Is this, you've seen it before. His parents get killed, whatever, coming out of the movie theater. But what's cool with that is his parents died in 1981. The movie they're coming out of is Excalibur. So I'm not sure if the little nugget in there is that they're hinting back to Excalibur, which is the 1981. I think it's the British version with can't remember the actor's name in it. I think Rufus Sewell is in that. Patrick Stewart is in that Excalibur. So if you IMDb Patrick Stewart, you'll see he was in an Excalibur movie in 1981. So funny enough, this movie kind of hints a lot to that Excalibur movie, which I'm not sure if that was even discussed in any YouTube videos. But when I saw it, it just stayed in the back of my mind the whole movie, and because it did, I saw like a mirror of that movie in this movie, in terms of King Arthur getting that Excalibur. The point of it is King Arthur, or the main core of that story is King Arthur getting together his knights to fight a demon. Morgana, I believe it is, or the son of Morgana. They have to fight the demon, um, and, and a supernatural power basically. And King Arthur is a human being in that story, but he's surrounded by powerful creatures and magic and this and that. And I feel like the Batman in this movie is the King Arthur, and it hints back to that movie a lot. And it's a movie probably no one have seen. That's probably going 90% of people that's going to see Batman versus Superman don't even know that movie exists. I'm sure of that. But see that movie, and you'll maybe appreciate the storytelling in this movie a little bit better. But my main point I'm gonna make is that this movie would have been better if you take Superman out of it, or basically Wonder Woman. I kind of got why they picked the actress to play it after seeing this movie. At first, I was like, why would they pick Gal Gadot to play? The only thing she has in common with the Wonder Woman, I would imagine from reading the comics as a kid, is that she's tall. That's the only thing in common. She has dark, long hair, and she's sort of ethnic in her appearance. She has this Eastern European, maybe South American, a bit of ethnicity to her facial or character, whatever. But I think she's too pretty, and that was my concern going into this. I think Hollywood does this a lot. They pick a lot of pretty women. Nothing against pretty women, but the thing with pretty women playing characters like a Wonder Woman is that you don't take them seriously. society or the common public, you're not going to take it as seriously as you would if they picked someone like, even the woman that played Xena, I can't remember her name right now, but like a Xena from the TV show, like someone like that, where she wasn't pretty, but she's beautiful. There's a difference between pretty and beautiful, and she's beautiful in a strong, kind of physical, imposing sort of way. Gal Gadot, it's she's pretty, she's like a model, she's skinny, she's thin, but she don't come across as strong. But in the movie, I think she's acting, I guess, but a lot of it is CGI. So I can't even say once she becomes Wonder Woman. Um, Before she becomes Wonder Woman, before we see her as Wonder Woman, it sort of pissed me off because she's like this. She's basically playing the same character she played in Fast and Furious. I forgot the name of that character. She's like this slick talking, you know, character that's sort of next to the superhero or the main character. She's like the side character, and I didn't like how they sort of how she is for most of the movie. And then the last bit of the movie, she comes out as Wonder Woman, and then everything's CGI, so you can't really say how she acted as Wonder Woman or how she is one. You know, I can't really say because a lot of this movie takes place at night, so it's really hard to say anything about Wonder Woman as after she becomes, or we see her as Wonder Woman. But before she becomes Wonder Woman, we see her a lot, and I didn't buy that. I didn't like her before she become Wonder Woman, and it's really hard to explain, but it's something you'd have to see in the movie to. Because we see Batman, we know Batman a lot, we know Superman a lot, but this is the first time seeing the Wonder Woman character, so it's really hard to gauge her performance as a Wonder Woman in the Wonder Woman role, not before she becomes Wonder Woman. Because 90% of the movie, she's not Wonder Woman yet. She's just this mysterious woman that's looking for something from Lex Luthor. She has a connection with Lex Luthor, and there's a lot of plot holes around Lex Luthor. Like, he knows a lot of information that pops up, and for us, the audience, I don't know, it's maybe some message to the writers of Zack Snyder or whoever the producers, is like, when you pop stuff up, and I get why they're doing it for to cut the story down into the space of this movie, which is already long. They cut a lot of stuff out, but to the audience, it looks like plot convenience theater. Like, hey, we need this, we need that. All of a sudden, stuff happens because something else is happening off screen, you know. And I think for us, it looks silly, and I think that's why a lot of people didn't connect with the movie or didn't like the movie, because there's a lot of holes in it. And if you're not smart, or not even if you're not smart, but if you're not familiar with the comic books, or you're not familiar with like little Easter eggs they put in there, like the reference to Excalibur, which was in the back of my mind watching the whole movie. I was thinking of Excalibur, and I think that filled in a lot of my plot holes in terms of the Bruce Wayne character and the Batman character, because I realized that's what he wanted us to do. He's worried about the supernatural power taking over his world, and so he wants to unite, I guess, the superheroes, unite people. It's a movie about unification. It's more of a unification movie than a versus movie, which the titles, Batman versus Superman, is stupid. It's the wrong title for this movie. It should have been basically a Batman movie or a Superman movie. And in saying that, I think this movie would have been a lot better without Superman. You take Superman out of this movie and just basically make it a simple, straight line, one story. Batman meets Wonder Woman. They have to defeat a supervillain, basically. I'm not going to say who supervillain is. I'm not spoiling anything. But just make it a Batman meets Wonder Woman. Or even a Batman versus a supervillain. And Wonder Woman shows up to help. Or Wonder Woman, like, who is she? Batman doesn't know who she is. And it's him meeting Wonder Woman for the first half of the movie. And then working together in the second half of the movie. And if anything, maybe they need Superman, or Batman realizes he has to unite the people to fight supervillains, and Superman shows up because they realize they need him. And saying that, Superman is a lot in this movie, but he's a lot in this movie as Clark Kent. He's a lot in this movie not as Superman, not really as Clark Kent. He's kind of confused in what he wants to be for the world, and I think the movie could have done without that. Just in fact, what I'm gonna do, like what I did with the Prometheus review, where I said if you take out the one of the characters and switch the characters around, you have a better story. And this movie would have been better if you take out Superman. I just switched the roles of Superman and Wonder Woman. Like, Superman is in the background, it's not really about him, but Wonder Woman is the Superman. Like, we see who she is more than we already in the movie now. Like, you know, Wonder Woman's, maybe she's looking for something and she's in the movie, and Batman is like, who's this woman? You know, kind of like, who's she? You know, and he's trying to figure out who she is, and Wonder Woman's trying to figure out who Batman is, kind of, and they meet up, and then Superman shows up in hell, which is the movie now, but instead of Wonder Woman, it's Superman and Batman trying to figure out each other, and you got a sense early on that Clark Kent knows Bruce Wayne is Batman, and Bruce Wayne sort of knows Clark Kent might be, well, he doesn't, but you kind of, you get a sense that they know each other, and that's them taking the whole movie to sort of confront each other and fight. It's kind of silly because you're like Bruce Wayne and Batman, like Clark Kent, they already come face to face out of their capes and costumes. So it's just kind of silly how they stretch it out, making the audience wait for Batman versus Superman, which in the end was really silly. The fight is about 10 minutes, and then they realize, well, I'm spoiling it, but heck, I don't care. I mean, I think most people saw the movie already based on the box office numbers, but the way they did it, my point is that just make Wonder Woman Superman and Superman Wonder Woman. Like, Wonder Woman shows up in the last 10 minutes of this movie as Wonder Woman, and she does her thing, and then we're not really sure who she is yet, but we already know Superman, we already seen Batman, so make Wonder Woman, because in saying that, the movie is sort of old because we've seen Batman, we've seen Superman, so to have them for 90% of the movie and Wonder Woman shows up for the last 10%, is nothing new. You're not seeing anything new, but make Wonder Woman 90% of the movie with Batman, and then Superman shows up in the last 10% of the movie. And then in doing that, maybe you have a third, or the next movie be more about Superman now, trying to figure out his role in where he fits in with Batman and Wonder Woman and the other, I guess, the Justice League folk. Because Superman is he's different than all of them. I know Wonder Woman's different too. We don't really get a sense of who she is yet. But make this movie about Wonder Woman and Batman, and then Superman shows up at the end, helps him. And then the next movie, where I think they want to do the Justice League or whatever, I'm not sure, familiar with that, the DC group of superheroes, make Superman like saying, do I want to work with them or not, kind of a thing. And then Lois Lane is in there, and she's like telling him what to do. But the movie as is, I liked it, for not expecting nothing. But that Excalibur reference early on sort of made me think, like, oh, it kind of slapped me across the face, because I know the date is there, 1981, and that movie is 1981. That's one of my top 10 movies of all time. So that's stuck in the back of my head, and it kind of made me understand a lot of this movie because I saw Excalibur. Now, it's crafty what they did, but I don't think a lot of audience could connect to that. But had that, maybe I'm thinking, not had that reference not been in there, I would have just went in and it would have been a popcorn movie. But I actually like this more than the Avengers movie, in that there's less product placement in this movie. I don't think I remember seeing any product placement in this movie. I think early on Bruce Wayne is driving a Jeep for no reason at all. He's just in a Jeep, which is kind of funny, but that's the only product placement thing I kind of seen. But I kind of liked it more than the Avengers movie, and more than a lot of the Marvel movies I've seen, in that it's less commercial. I didn't feel like I was watching a long commercial with action in it. But in saying that, it's not a perfect movie. It's not for everyone, I want to say. But I think a lot of people went into theaters thinking like they expected so much from this movie. And I didn't like Man of Steel. I like this more than Man of Steel. I know a lot of people said the reverse. They like Man of Steel more because the story in Man of Steel is simple. This story is very complex. There's a lot going on in it. There's a lot that's not explained. They do kind of a Lost thing where stuff come up and it's not really explained and disappears and never to reappear again. Maybe in a sequel or maybe the next movies. But I kind of like this movie. I haven't done a movie review in a while, but I think this movie, I had to say something because there's so much negative stuff on the internet, on YouTube and stuff about it. So I had to just put my 2 cents in. It's late. I literally just got back. I saw a late show because it's Tuesday, the following after the weekend, and everything sold out. But that's gonna be my review. I would like to see the next movie. I'd like to see more of Wonder Woman. I'm not sold on the Gal Gadot playing Wonder Woman yet, because we rarely see her as Wonder Woman. When we do see her as Wonder Woman, it's a dark fight scene with lots of like explosions, and you don't really see her do anything. But she looks good. She looks like a Wonder Woman. But I need to see more to say anything about her. But I think overall I like the movie. I would probably give it a 7 out of 10. You take Lex Luthor out. Lex Luthor is probably the worst part of this movie. it's not Lex Luthor. It's more Joker than Lex Luthor. I've heard that, and that is totally true. The Jesse plays the Joker basically. I don't know if they told him like just you're Lex Luthor, but just play the Joker because that's what, or maybe he was confused. He saw Batman and figured he's gonna be the Joker. So, and that's weird to see Lex Luthor and Batman because I've never remember seeing Lex Luthor in the same world as Batman. And I kind of like actually a lot of people haven't said Gotham City and Metropolis are from kind of two separate worlds in a way in the same comic universe. So for them to put Gotham and Metropolis sort of like as a Brooklyn, Manhattan, or New York, New Jersey, kind of in the same area but different, separated by a bay. I kind of like that they did that because it brought the two worlds together in the same city. You know, at first I didn't understand how Batman and Superman and Metropolis kept talking about Metropolis, kept talking about Gotham, and I was like, how is it one city? Is it two separate cities? But the way they did it is really nice. I like how they did that, and some praise that because that's kind of tricky to do. I'm not sure if I missed something in the comics, and maybe Gotham was next to Metropolis the whole time, and I missed that from reading the comics as a kid. But I liked how they did that. That's a positive. And like I said, like little things in the movie I liked that build up. I mean, overall the movie is not a good movie, but it's not a bad movie because of the little things, the little gems here and there in it. And that's my honest, I think, opinion. I'm not a DC fanboy. I don't even like any of the Marvel movies to say this is better than the Marvel movies or worse. But it's definitely less commercial than the Marvel movies. It's less um, funny. It doesn't try to be funny. It's just the movie tries to be what it is. And in saying that, I know a lot of people complain that Batman kills people, Superman kills people, but it's a new world. It's a world of superheroes where superheroes are there because crime is there because anti superheroes are there, and anti superheroes aren't like nice people. They kill people, and I think for our superheroes to be superheroes, you have to kill people. It's bad people. It's not like Superman isn't killing an old lady walking a dog in the park, and Batman isn't like killing innocent people. They're killing villains or fighting villains where villains die or bad people die, and I think that's realistic. And I don't know why people in 2016 think comic book movies should be like this bleached sort of safe where no one dies and so forth. I kind of like that grit, and I would take my young kids to see it based because of reality. People die, and I think the movie doesn't glorify it, but it happens as a side effect of the story. And the story isn't about Batman or Superman killing people, but people die as a side effect or direct effect or whatever of them being Superman and Batman. So I liked it. I mean, I would have wanted to see another Superman Batman collaboration, but I don't think based on the way the movie ends, I don't think there's gonna be another one. But I like the movie. Not much else to say about it. That's it. I might do more of these movie reviews on my channel if people like them, or if people in that playlist, people like the playlist for the movies. But that's it, guys. Bye.